picked up your guitar a minute ago. It's feeling nice. Actually, it's not just feeling nice, this is feeling right. You're playing this riff that just came to you out of nowhere. There's a spark. Maybe these did something. This just might be a song. It is time to get this song out of your head. But then you think about the recording and how annoying the software can be. And you're fighting with this effect and that EQ and it's not sounding right. And finally, the spark is gone. Your idea dissipated into thin air. You lose your motivation and you end up without a song. Let's fix that. Today, I'm going to show you how you can record your songs as quickly and as easily as possible without losing that initial spark and without losing your motivation by reducing the obstacles that come with recording music. I'm Mahmoud and welcome to Mammoth Basics. Let's jump right in. First things first, to record a demo, you need a computer, a DAW of your choice. I use Cubase. An interface, ideally with at least 2 inputs, a cable for your guitar or your bass, as well as maybe a mic if you intend to record vocals. We're going to be recording the direct input of the guitar, so no worries about owning an amp or having a mic with a cabinet and all that. Why 2 inputs? This setup is about efficiency. If you have a mic and a guitar cable always ready, you lower the hurdles on your way to a finished song. I always have a bunch of things ready to just record immediately. Among them a vocal mic and a guitar input. Actually, 2 guitar inputs, maybe even 3. Before I jump into how everything is set up, if you already know your way around a DAW, feel free to just download the free session via the link in the description and get to demoing your songs. However, if you've never navigated a session like this, stick around. I will be going through the whole session step by step so you can get the most out of it in your demoing future. Oh, before I forget, I already got a bunch of questions about recording and demoing and performance and stuff like that on other videos and posts that I made. So I will be doing a follow-up video once this video is out, maybe a week or 2 after, and answer as many questions as I can about how I like to record things, demoing and stuff like that. So if you want an answer that pertains to any of those topics, please leave a comment down below with your question. I will be writing it down and get back to you as soon as I drop the follow-up video for this. So, on to step 1. The flow of sound. Imagine a little spring high up in a mountain. Actually, multiple springs. They turn into rivers and flow downwards into what will eventually be a lake. On the way down, those tiny little rivers will merge. Nature has provided those convenient paths for the water to take. And so at first it's maybe 20 little rivers, then it's 16, then they merge further, and suddenly there's only 4 left. Those merge too, and then it's only 1 big stream, and it flows into the lake. I like to do the same thing with my sessions for demos, or really any production. When you feel inspired, the last thing you want to do is think about how you can achieve the sound in your head. So instead of pulling up the plugins and worrying about all the engineering stuff every damn time you want to record an idea, why not have a template prepared? You just open the template, record the idea onto the appropriate track, and that's it. You can just write music and not worry about engineering. The goal today is to build a super flexible set and forget template once. Let's dive into Cubase and I'll show you all exactly how to build this template. Preparing the sounds and grouping together individual tracks. I've prepared these tracks here, as you can see on the left hand side. I often use these sounds in my songs, as do a lot of other musicians in metal. Let me show you the flow of one track. from mountaintop down to the lake, if you will. Easiest way is to solo an audio track. This guitar rhythm left channel is going to the rhythm track, which is where I did some of the EQing. And then it's going to the guitar sum. And then it's going to the instrumental bus. And then finally to the master bus. We'll start with individual tracks and work our way down the mountain or up the screen, I guess. As you can see, this is the track we started with. This is the rhythm track I mentioned. This is the guitar sum I mentioned. And then it goes up into the instrumental and then into the master. Why do I have it this complicated? Because if I need to solo a certain thing, I can do it here. Or if I want to export all of the guitars by themselves, all of the rhythm guitars, I can do it here. If I need all of the guitars together, I can do it here. Or if I just want an instrumental, I can do it here. It seems complicated at first, but down the line it will save you so much time. All right, let's check what is on the actual audio track. This is where you record your DI guitar onto. I have opted to use this Amped Roots plugin, which is completely free. This is made by Amel Sound Lab in collaboration with Ryan Bruce, aka Fluff. And this is completely free. It sounds great, and I just did my own preset, which you will have if you download this template, this Cubase template. There's nothing else besides that plugin on this track. Same here, same here. What I did is I did all of the EQing on the bus, which is this channel here. Nothing crazy. It's super simple. For your demos, I would just set this. And for one final trick, and this will apply to all group tracks, you can add a limiter at the very end here. I didn't do it here because I didn't feel the need to, but with this limiter, you make sure it's never going to get louder than it needs to be. Afterwards, you can just do any volume automation using this track here. This idea that I just explained to you with the rhythm guitar tracks, the same exact thing applies to all of the other tracks in this session. Literally all of them, just with different settings. It's the same exact idea for the guitars, but it's a different tone, so we can differentiate between the two sounds. And also I am using something called a send effect, which is this channel here. What this means is that my delays and reverbs are not on the same track as the audio over here, but they are in parallel. Parallel effect. What is that? Here's how you do that. You record your lead like I did here and use the send section here to send it to the effects track. Here's the send, and you send it over to this. I called it here lead effects. It can be anything you want. You can make multiples of these. Doesn't really matter what it is. This is where the actual effect lives. Let's look at the effect track. This is just on delay that I set and forget. Keep in mind I pushed the mix all the way up and followed by a reverb where the mix isn't quite as high, just because I mainly want to use the reverb to push the delays further into the background. This way, with the effects parallel, I can use this volume track here to blend in the effect to my taste. I can turn it down or up, depending on the part, and do all of that without fundamentally changing the actual audio track. You can apply this same principle to other effects as well, like I said, be it reverbs, modulation, or even distortion. Obviously, you can use the effect directly on the audio track, but this is, generally speaking, the more usual approach. One exception for me is when it comes to special effects like lo-fi or anything else that is supposed to be part of the core sound. Those I generally like to do directly on the audio track. Here's how this lead guitar sounds without the effects. And here it is again with the parallel effects track. That's it. And like I said with the rhythm guitars, it's the exact same thing, just with different sounds. This guitar's lead channel goes into the lead bus, which is where I do my EQing. This goes into the guitar's bus. This goes into the instrumental bus. This goes into the master bus. And we're done. Let's take a look at the bass. I wasn't sure how to set up the bass track at first. I was thinking of doing more than one bass track just to be able to control the low end and stuff like that. But I ended up thinking this is for demo purposes. This isn't a super clean mix that is supposed to get released. This is for demos. So I ended up using just one bass track. This bass track is made with a stock plugin, as you can see here. This is just the VST bass amp plugin made by Cubase. It's not the greatest thing ever, honestly. It took me quite some time to get it the way I wanted. However, if you turn this overdrive on and off, you can basically decide how much distortion you want. The rest shouldn't be affected by that. This goes, as you can see, it's the same chain as with the other guitars. I did some major EQing on here, as well as some compression, as you can tell here. And that's it. If you want a more in-depth look into how to get a really cool bass sound, I made a tutorial already about how to get a great bass sound with stock plugins. Go check it out. Link is down in the description or up here somewhere. And hey, you know what? If you like this template, we should talk about the sponsor of this video, Steinberg. Steinberg have kindly sponsored. Yee, Shu. Shuhad. No. No? Absolutely not. No. Alright, enough goofing off. This video is sponsored by absolutely no one. This is a tiny channel, and so no shade to Steinberg. I genuinely love their product, which is why I use it for my work. And I haven't asked them to sponsor this video, and they didn't decline or anything. This is obviously just a joke. Anyway, if you get anything from this video, if it helped you at all, please leave a thumbs up. Maybe even share your thoughts down below in the comments. Also, if you have any questions or want more videos like this, subscribe and maybe even share it with more like-minded individuals. They might get something from this. Anyway, back to the video. Let's jump on to the vocals. Again, same principle applies. However, I have a few more tracks ready. Let's check out these tracks. I have one main vocal track, actually two, in case there's an overlap with the lyrics or the phrasing or something like that. It's the same thing, same exact thing. Then I have the vocal main left, vocal main right. I pan these hard left and right respectively and turn them down just a little bit. I like to use these when I have a chorus or a section that is supposed to sound especially big, vocally speaking. And then I have an additional two background tracks, which I use generally speaking for harmonies or other background vocals, whatever they may be. And lastly, I have a lo-fi track prepared. I also have a send effect, again with the stereo delay and the reverb. The vocal track goes from here into the vocal main, which is where I did all of this processing, into the vocal track, which is where I did more processing, and into the master. Notice the vocals skip the instrumental bus, obviously. Keep in mind, I did all of the processing that you see on here with the fact in mind that you do not have like external compressors or EQs, stuff like that, I assume that you do not have any fancy gear like this stuff here, which isn't all that fancy either way. Not the point. If you don't record with compression or any other processing before it goes into your computer, this is how it's set up. The demo that I will show you later was recorded without any additional processing beforehand, so it's as raw as it can get. Last but not least, let's look at the drums. I decided to use the free ML Drums plugin. This is not a sponsored video. I just happened to find this sounds really good for the price, which is $0. It's a free plugin, and I did my own preset for it, which sounds like this. These are the stock sounds that come with it. I just messed around with the mixer, the internal mixer, until I was happy with how it sounds. You can also obviously use any of the free plugins that come with Cubase or whatever DAW that you're using. You should have something similar in your DAW. And if not, change your DAW, because no one needs that kind of negativity in their lives. For this template, you get my preset with the ML Sound Lab. And from here, we go to the instrumental bus, which just has a slight bit of compression and a slight bit of EQ. Don't worry about that too much. And we land at the master track. There is just a little more EQ going on here, as well as this limiter. This limiter just makes sure that your demo doesn't distort when you export the music. This is not meant to actually limit the music, as in compress it some more or anything like that. This is just a safety measure. Yeah, that's literally a whole session. Let me show you some additional tracks that I prepared. I have a shaker track and a tambourine track, in case you use stuff like that. I like using stuff like that for my songs sometimes. I also prepared a synth track. This is a plugin called Vital. This is also free. If you want to download it, I'll put the link in the description. This also has a parallel effect, as well as the group track, and goes into the instrumental, as usual. Final thing, I have this effects track with a sub drop and a reverse cymbal track. These I sporadically use for enhancement during the song. You'll see when it happens. That's it. Let's listen to the demo. Finally, let's give all of the tracks a quick listen solo so you know what you're getting yourself into. Let's start with the drums. Let's go from top to bottom. This is the drums. This is the shaker track that I recorded. Let's go to the bass. This is how the bass sounds like. Hit the idea. This is the rhythm guitars. And the lead guitars you already heard. Let's show them again. Here's the harmonized part. Here's the clean-ish guitars. They're not super clean, but this is what I like. And finally, here's the vocals. This is the main vocals. Take me home, I'm living in an endless cold. Take me down, deliver me from all this evil. Take me home. There's some scream vocals at the end there. Here's the harmonies. Basically the same treatment, just a little lower in the mix. Take me home, take me down. And then all together, this is what the vocals sound like. Take me home, I'm living in an endless cold. Take me down, deliver me from all this evil. Take me out. 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 That's it. That's literally it. If you happen to want to use this template, just follow the link in the description down below and download this. I hope this helps you. If you have any questions regarding this template, please let me know down below in the comments, like I said before. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.